Hello, everybody, and welcome to part 2 of my November reset. If you haven't caught part 1, definitely go check that out. I'll stick a card up above, but I'll also drop it in the link below. You're gonna wanna check that one out. In that video, I go through what is currently working in my system, what do I need to do a little bit better in my system, and I do a whole digital declutter and do a massive sweep of my reminders and my bullet journal and update everything into my Apple Notes. And now it's time to actually put into action the things that need to get into my physical bullet journals. So we are going to start by getting into my Apple Notes, and you'll see here that I have gone ahead and done another little screen recording. And what I want to focus on here is what are the priority things for work and personal that need to be done. And so I actually am going to create a little section called November priority within each category. That's going to be a heading. And November priority is going to have, so we're going to remember work priority is going to have a few things. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to start offloading this stuff into my bullet journal. And so we are in client resources and tasks. These all need to get updated. But in what order? We're going to make this one, 2, 3, and then 4. And because I have moved them over, I'm going to make sure I delete them and be like migrated to November priority. So I know that those things have been migrated. In marketing, honestly, these 3 things need to get done. And this question box needs to get moved up in order of importance. Whee! Okay. I'm gonna just delete those. Okay. This is sales. And this, because I talked about this. And this is actually technically also marketing, but a lead magnet is sort of a sales and marketing sort of hybrid task. Okay. Networking. Email about my name tag. It's not even a referral, it's like a connection. Okay. For room dues, this is $20. Okay. So, oh, this should go under marketing, not networking. Marketing. Okay. admin. I need to do these ASAP. Research and resources. I can deal with that later. And education. I'm gonna need to do education. These things aren't really priority, but I would do 1 hour block each week, choose from list. None of those education pieces are like more important than the other. They're just sort of all general things that just need to get done. So this is my November work priority. And we're gonna do November personal priority. And 2 things have already made it onto this list, which is family admin. This is going to be mom insurance, ruin mortgage, and we're gonna do the VA reimbursement as the priority. So I'm gonna take these off, so I don't want them in 2 places. So the trick to doing this is when you're keeping it in a note or in a list that you're not keeping things in multiple places. Decluttering, just say home care. Whoops. Home misc. I need to post those, and I should actually delete this. Oops. Okay. Holidays. Plan Thanksgiving. And we'll actually make that family. Plan Thanksgiving. I feel like that's actually its own whole thing by itself. I'm not gonna worry about travel just yet. I gotta figure out a couple things first. And I wanna finish cybernetics. Time blocks 4, crochet, music, writing. "20-minute cleaning sprints." Okay, so that's what's gonna go into my bullet journal now for November. So let's go ahead and migrate that over. All right, friends, here we are in my bullet journal, and some of this stuff is gonna be dropped into my November monthly, and some of it is stuff that's a little more time sensitive that will get dropped in for this week. So let me start on my personal or my work side of things. So I already have accounting, tax, daily savings time marked, some important dates. Client resources. I'm gonna actually add that to this. Shelby Tees. Jesse Stats. Recipe base links. GC Labs reference. And I should actually double check that from, I don't think I swept this one. Okay. Low FODMAP hummus. Okay, perfect. Now, this week I should pick up a mini SD card. Nick podcast and question box follow-ups. $10.14 question mark? Okay. Ooh, all right. Let me go back to this communication log for this week. I need to follow up with Echo also. All right, and then start YouTube resource. Check this idea. Can't remember exactly what it was, but I said I would do something, so I'm gonna do it. All right. Then we're gonna make a list specific for BNI. MSP training. Okay. And I need a 1 hour education block. And this month I have the Actually, I think I need to do this one first and this one second, because once I update all my info with the state, then I can do the federal filing. All right, that's everything from November priority. And in my Apple Notes, I did just put a little note next to it that I added it all to my bullet journal as of 10:30. Whenever I update my Apple Note, I always put the date that I last updated it, just so I know for sure. In my November, you'll also see I put a little Thanksgiving prep. I didn't really use this no spend tracker here this last month. But I know I will likely be hosting Thanksgiving, so I want to make a little bit of to-do list here. So now for my personal November work priority, family admin, is that. I already have Thanksgiving over here. Home misc is jackets, purses, finish, psycho-cybernetics, and I need to do a EMDR follow-up. I also need to book some therapy appointments. Then I need time blocks. I need to add in some hobby time blocks. So, and this, I just had this call. So that's basically what I'm putting in here. So now what we'll do is I need to decide, this is no longer a task list. This is supposed to be an inbox. And I'm wondering if I can just directly repurpose this, or if I need to make a new spread. I think I can just repurpose the pages so I don't waste the pages. So what we're gonna do is this. We updated to notes on 10:30 inbox only. Anything not already in notes. Inbox to Apple Notes. And actually, let me take a little Tombow and just whee. My N79 is starting to dry out, you guys. What am I gonna do? I guess I better order some more. Okay. And that's pretty much it. These are just my sort of general bullet journaling notes. This is, okay. And that's all blank. All right, perfect. Now what I need to make sure that I do is that I go through and I put in the reference reminders of, in my daily, did I reference my weekly? In my weekly, did I reference my monthly? At the beginning of month, did I reference my Apple Notes? And so what I'm gonna do here is, today's kind of already set up, so I'm gonna just, I already kind of reviewed my weekly, so I don't need to put this here. So I'm going to get my dot marker. And we're going to create a little note here. Note. Note. We're going to go habits. I'm going to just notes and notes. Okay. I will usually keep a timeline on Saturday and Sunday just because I like the way it looks. And then we'll have a little to-do under here. My weekend tasks lists are a little shorter and are usually, if I do a bunch of stuff on the weekend, it's usually like catching up on what didn't get done throughout the week. So, check weekly. Cool. And just because I can, we are going to add it here. Check weekly. Cool. Now, weekly, we need to have a, ooh, let's put it at the top. I probably need to reference my monthly. At least the beginning of week and end of week. So let's just say I did this already for the beginning of week. Check monthly, check monthly. Check monthly, check monthly. Check monthly, check monthly. We're gonna add these in for basically every single week for the rest of the year because I want to make sure I stay on top of this. And that's the last. Cool. And then in here, we need to add in just a little boop, boop, boop. Check master. So this is notes, Apple Notes. Check inbox, Bujo, and reconcile master and inbox. And I don't know if that's what I'm gonna call it every single month, but I'm gonna just give myself space to do that also in December. So I know that this is for check master, Apple Notes. No, where's my whiteout? Check master, notes, check inbox, Bujo, reconcile, master, and inbox. That way I don't forget to do these things. And now I have in my weekly a reminder that I did check the monthly at the beginning of the week and check monthly. I don't think I need to continue writing the beginning of week, end of week. I just know I need to do it at least twice. Right? And then in the dailies, continue with checking my weekly, which I did. I just want to cross it off. And check weekly. So now in my new dailies for the upcoming week, what I want to make sure I do is timeline, habits. So let's just see how this would look. Habits. I got like priority. They're gonna be check weekly, hobby, I think that's it. And then I'll leave it just a little bit more room. Notes, work, personal. I think that works. Okay, so now I know sort of what this new daily setup will look like. So I can still include my priority, my notes, my habits, my work to-do list, my personal to-do list. Yeah, I think that'll work. Those extra reminders always help. People always ask, like, why do you keep track of like logging your foods, your vitamins, workouts, filling in your trackers and doing like basic habits here? it's just another visual cue, right? I have horrible ADHD, so the more visual cues I can give myself, the better. And even here, vitamins, this just means that I logged my vitamins. So I have my vitamin tracker here, but did I take them and what did I take is the information in my weekly, right? That's how that works. And that's why I have a bit of redundancy in my daily. So yeah, this is pretty much it for how this is going to get updated. And I'm just reviewing my notes. Car clean. So in October, I did the car wash on what day did I go? I think I went on Monday, so 10/28. So 10/28. Device clean will probably happen, let's say tomorrow, because I'm actually waiting on something to arrive. So we're gonna put device clean on the 31st. And then once I do it, I'll write it down. So that way when I'm in the following month, because cleaning out my car, cleaning my devices is something I want to do on a monthly basis more consistently versus just waiting until it looks gross. Like I want to do it more proactively. I want to have sort of like a when did I last type of situation. And that's what those dates will reference. I'm not good at keeping like an adulting log or like a when did I last log because I just don't keep those things. And then the other thing I need to do on a monthly basis is also, did I index the book? So I'm going to stick a note down here at the bottom. Index this book. I'm going to add that for October as well because we're technically still in October for another 2 days. Index this book. So I always add like in my system after this notes, this is where like my notes are. So like this is where I've got like my task lists, videos to edit, accounting checklist, happy mail, marketing notes, lecture notes from a conference, caboodle stuff, workouts, meal planning, November thing, you know, just random things. So this is just random lists. And some of this I want to index because I want to reference it. Or sometimes I have information in my dailies that I want to reference. And so look how cute my little November dashboard. So that is sort of I back planned these. How cute are those? Because I was in the woods. We were camping and then drove home today. So I did this. This was fun. I wasn't planning on like back planning these, but I just had the time and I felt like it, so I went ahead and did it. Anyway, I digress. I think that's it for today. So if we go to my videos to edit list, which is here, videos to edit. I recorded the November reset, so I can give that a little half check. All right. Now that I am all set up for the month of November, I'm feeling much more calm and hopefully will not wake up at 3:30 in the morning stressed because I'm like, oh my gosh, there's so many things that I need to go through. When it feels very overwhelming, it's very easy to sort of avoid the to-do list, but I find that the best remedy for anxiety is action and actually getting an overview of what's on my list. Like, yes, I have a lot of things on my lists, if you guys haven't noticed, but getting an idea of what's on there and what needs to be done in a time-sensitive manner, and then now having a more updated process of how to put things on my to-do list when they come up so that they don't impede what actually has to get done this month, this week, this day, I think is going to be really, really helpful. And again, the biggest part of the bullet journal process for me is that reflection of what still needs to be done and what can just be completely taken off, and where do things need to get prioritized based off of level of importance and how they're going to actually impact your day-to-day function within your professional and your personal life. So If you guys enjoyed today's video, I love it if you drop a like, and if you're not already subscribed to the channel, feel free to subscribe. I would love to have you here hanging out with us more consistently. And thank you guys so much for being here today. I'll see you on the next one.